And then we went and saw Singularity. They were having a small theater showing
experience.
This first-person shooter from Raven that I guess is coming out this year.
I like Raven quite a bit. That's a name that really resonates with me for some reason.
They've been working on the game for 3.5 years.
Wow.
And it looks cool.
Time manipulation.
Time manipulation.
So time manipulation.
You get a TMD.
But, yes, the time manipulation device.
It's a wrist thing.
Not what I was expecting in like a number of ways. Like for one, the way that you're manipulating time in that game, like they've kind of talked about it some, but then actually seeing it in action, I think it was a little bit different.
Yeah, so it's based on like individual objects, so you are or like enemies, so you can age or revert various objects. Yeah, so you can roll them back in time. So you're basically flipping stuff between 1950 and 2010. So you eventually get a chrono light, which is a time flashlight that lets you see stuff that's out of phase. So
and then like you're on this island where there were experiments done in the 50s with Element 99. With these Russian scientists doing weird experiments with them, and
it blew up the entire island and created a singularity.
Yeah, and everything went bad there, so the Russians like shut it down and denied existence and basically did a big fat cover up. And then you're this Air Force pilot that crash lands there in 2010, and then you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on. And time is fucked up on this island.
2010, like 2010, like next year.
I mean, like 10.
So that happened at this thing. I was like, okay, so it's like a near future game.
It was like,
and I was like,
holy crap!
Oh no, that's next. So that's like so that's modern. Like it broke my damn mind.
15 minutes into the future. What?
Yeah, it's Max Headroom.
The
day after tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, but is it like modern? Like, is this like time manipulation thing something that is out there because it's 2010?
No, it's not out there. It is this island.
Okay, so
it is covered up, and the whole story is this big conspiracy theory kind of thing.
But the tech you have is like pretty much modern day.
Well, the idea is that you have, for the most part, like regular weapons, like they were saying, weapons that you would expect in a shooter.
Not a spacesuit
but
kind of
but the time manipulation kind of can make those things behave in weird ways.
Yeah, and there are people on this island still that are kind of trapped there in time in some cases, where they're flipping back and forth.
They showed one of the kind of cooler, creepier things for me was you go through this one area and you see these kind of like ghostly images of people that are stuck in a loop. Like there's this one place where the singularity first jumped off, so you see like this event happening over and over again in this spot, and those people are just doomed. It's like they just have to go through this event, this 3 seconds forever.
It's Groundhog Day type.
Shortened up.
Yeah, it was messed up.
The Lost references in this game.
We talked to the producer of the game and they said that they have been working on this game for a while, and it has been kind of driving them a little nuts watching Lost, because Lost has kind of gone in like a very similar direction to what they're doing, which Lost didn't start off that way. No. So like when they're watching Lost and suddenly like Lost is time traveling in the 50s, like, oh come on,
we thought of that first.
We were already doing that. God damn it. So they know that they're going to have those comparisons.
What are you going to do?
But I think
they're sue ABC.
their execution seems good.
Raven is.
I like the 1950s sci-fi touches. I like the name Element 99. There were some good like kind of 99. Like analog synthesizer sounds, not music necessarily, but just some of the sound effects for weird 50s technology that was happening. I enjoyed the sound of it. The culmination of the demo, and probably the coolest part, was you get to this like TMD amplifying point where there are these big crazy like Tesla towers or something going on, and you're able to rewind time on an entire building. So there's this like crumbled down just like ruin of a building, and you're able to like bring it back. But apparently that doesn't last, so you go into the building and it like starts aging around you. Oh,
that's really
cool. And so it's immediately falling apart.
Oh wow.
And you're like, oh god.
And there are places like
in here
through the game where stuff is just in weird time flux. So like paint will just start falling off of walls as you're like walking through these areas, and just weird time shit is happening.
And sometimes
always.
There'll be like a time wave that'll warp you back to 1950. So there's like a doctor that's only in 1950. and you end up going back in time and talking to him for a little bit, and then the wave snaps back, and all of a sudden he's not there anymore because you're not there anymore. And,
That sounds cool.
Yeah.
That sounds into it.
Yeah, they have thought out this time manipulation stuff in some interesting ways.
Yeah.
Some of it just seems kind of like physics toysy a little bit. Some of it seems a little like gravity
to me,
gun.
It seems like the kind of thoughtful stuff and like of BioShock in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Where you're kind of seeing this area all torn up and kind of figuring out what happened. I think the font for the health and ammo is straight up just looks like BioShock.
I didn't notice that.
Corner
I could
just
see that.
Looks like BioShock. And just like the conspiracy theory kind of mystery thing, and then the physics toy nature of your time manipulator.
So where was I don't know anything about this game. Where was that? Who's showing it?
Activision.
So it was
It's a theater.
Theater.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very low key, like off to
They
the
announced
outside.
it a while ago. Like it's been known about for a pretty
I feel
long
like I've
time.
heard the name,
yeah,
but not anything about that.
But yeah, I don't know. It's they haven't shown a ton of it.
Yeah.
Because
So.
I can't even remember the last Raven game that came out. I know Outcast was a big Raven game, but I know they've been making shooters for a long time. But
Didn't
I
they
know-
do
They did Marvel Ultimate Alliance 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
right.
or
That's
I'm sorry, the first Marvel
first
Ultimate
one,
Alliance.
and then they did Wolverine, isn't that?
Did they
Yeah.
do Wolverine?
Yeah,
They did.
X-Men Origins. Is
Huh,
theirs.
wow,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That was them. Singularity for the PS3, PC, and Xbox 360. This is Raven, Raven Software, first-person shooters, Hexen, those guys.
Yes. Entire Hexen crew.
Like the first Marvel Ultimate Alliance and X-Men Legends and a lot of first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I feel like this really has gotten zero props from Activision. I feel like they threw out a couple of trailers and it looks cool.
Oh, they had a while.
The game
where
got
it was-
bumped back a bunch. Like it's been in development forever, and like even at E3 last year, it was already like, oh right, Singularity, that's still being made, and that was a year ago.
That was the first time I had seen that game.
Yeah.
Was at E3 last year.
Yeah.
Oh, that was 2 years
No,
ago. It was last year.
That was last year.
Okay.
And I thought it looked really cool back then.
I did,
and
but
I have not. I have not seen it since. So
Right.
I'm really looking forward to seeing how that
I mean,
came
it seemed
out.
like there was a lot of exciting ideas in there, and
Yeah.
They had a lot of trailers. They pushed out like a series. And
Yeah,
then
but
it kind of died down again.
it does just
Yeah.
kind of feel like we're just squeezing this one out.
Squeezing out
And
a couple weeks after E3, just like I don't know, dude. Here you go.
it's too bad because it seems like it has promise, and Raven Software makes some quality shit.
Like looking at that trailer, like the demo they gave last year, like that game seemed like it could very much be like here is our BioShock. Like,
Oh, yeah,
on
like-
that
like-
level of moody, atmospheric, like unique gameplay mechanic.
kind of huge
shooter.
unknown for me. Like I'd love to see it.
Yeah, I hope it does well because I'm probably gonna play it pretty soon here.
I hope it's good.
Yeah,
Hot Shots Tennis. You were saying, Jeff?
Singularity.
What's up with Singularity?
I played a bunch of that.
Oh yeah.
That game's really cool.
Excellent. I'm
Yeah.
glad that turned out.
Yeah, and your fears about the bad.
Let's not go into it in any detail, but I'm happy to hear that yes, the bad Russian tinged
That
English
is
voice acting.
storyline stuff.
I like that. That actually pleases me a whole lot because I was really bummed out when we first looked at the game. I'm like, really? They're gonna make the fucking Russians talk like Boris and Natasha? Like, come on.
I did see you post something on Twitter about Nolan North and reaching some threshold of.
That's Crackdown.
Northiness.
That was Crackdown.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Did it for you?
There's like 6 different types of audio logs in Crackdown.
Is he one of
Nolan
them?
North is 2 of them.
What really?
Wow. If not 3, you go back and check. But yeah, he is like the news reporter and the agency.
Oh wow.
Like,
but he is in Singularity as well, right?
yes, he is,
Okay.
but like not much, not
Okay.
much. So that was all Crackdown of just like really. I think he's also some of the pedestrians. So just like everywhere you turn, it's just like here's Nolan North saying something. And it's like the voices are fine on their own,
Sure.
but if you have heard a lot of that guy's voice, all you hear is that guy's voice. And even though he's doing different, accents or just like playing it differently for these different characters, there's still enough of him in there where you're like, this doesn't work at all.
Would that game have been better if the Outbreak were Nolan North? Like just becoming
If every single freak was Nolan North,
like everything.
No, that was the infection. Was you
Yeah.
became Nolan North.
everything was becoming.
It wasn't that you
Nolan
became a
North.
freak.
that would be great. That would actually be.
That's why I feel like we've now reached the point, like with this realization, Jeff, that there needs to be just a Nolan North game where you just play as Nolan North.
Yes.
But somebody else voices it.
Yeah, you don't have that's gauche. make Nolan North voice himself. Come on.
You get Jeff Bridges.
Don't be an asshole.
Is he in that game?
We're not talking about that yet.
So tell me more about Singularity. Tell me about time.
So, it's that game involves time travel and a lot of, you get your TMD, your time manipulation device, which is a glove that, is, let's say, a really good plasmid.
Is that a late game thing? Because in the
No,
quick
it's
look
not.
you hadn't gotten
No,
it.
it is an early game thing.
Okay.
So, that
That
quick
is a
look is
major-
like very early on in the game. It's a major thing that upgrades along the way. So when you first get it, you're just kind of tapping a button to like, these stairs are old and they don't work anymore, but now they do. But then it becomes like, I can hit it on a guy and turn him into dust.
That's
or
cool.
I can double tap it on him to warp him back and forth and turn him into a crazy monster.
That's bad.
Yeah.
They did say, though, I remember early on that you would not be able to turn them into babies.
Yeah, no, they turned into reverts, not babies.
Damn it.
Unfortunately.
Do you have any choice at all, or is there even any indication of what kind of an effect the thing will have on a given object?
It's always a set effect on,
So it's always
on that
scripted.
object. So yeah, it's always scripted. So if you find a blackboard, a chalkboard somewhere in the game, you can tap the button to age it and have it kind of crack and fall apart. Or if you find a cracked one, you can bring it back and read what's on there, which is kind of a cool thing.
The use of the thing just sounds a little arbitrary to me.
It
It
is,
just sounds
it
like
is.
it's just a one-size-fits-all
They
puzzle-solving
it
device.
totally is, and they justify it by saying like it only works on objects that have some of this mystical element in them already. And it just so happens this staircase does because it's it's kind of contaminating the island, but not the whole island. So
Oh, it sounds so contrived.
it is a little
Sounds
contrived,
cool.
but
Yeah.
it's kind of not the point of that game is that the story is cool because you are manipulating. You are traveling back in time and changing things. That then when you go back, it's like, oh God, this is a different thing. This is not the same time I left. So that like one of the chalkboards ends up just straight up being like the Back to the Future looking like, here's the timeline and here's the line coming off of it where we are, and then here's this other line up here, and dude, something screwed
So
up.
you didn't feel like you were being cheated at all by not really being challenged? Like it sounds like there's no guesswork in the puzzle solving at all.
No,
You just
well,
point
the
thing
guesswork
at
comes
whatever and
from
press the button, right?
there's some stuff where you're like doing some box manipulation with it because you can eventually pick up and kind of move items around, and if you make a box old, it cracks apart, but you can still pick it up, and when it's in that cracked apart state, it's not as tall, so you can drag it through narrow spaces. And you end up kind of like lifting up doors by manipulating it under something, and then using the device to form it back into a regular box, which pushes the door back up. The weapons ended up being fun to use. There's some cool stuff in there that kind of manipulate time.
I feel like people have been talking mess about Singularity based on like, oh, it's just BioShock knockoff, but
It does have elements of that in there,
But there are way worse games that you can be out there
and the
ripping
puzzle
off.
the puzzle solving's not fantastic. You're right to be like skeptical of that stuff. I'm not gonna like defend it and say it's like super amazing, but you feel cool while you're doing it, and going through the story and kind of seeing it all play out. And once you kind of start to see where it's going, you're like, oh God, okay, all right, okay. And then it ends up having 3 different endings based on... Basically, it gives you a decision at the end of the game. So it's not even like something you did really early on. So you can actually just reload after you finish it and go like, now I want to see this ending. And go through all 3 of them. And they end up being pretty satisfying and interesting endings that are, based on time stuff. And it's a really good use of time stuff, let's say.
Is it kind of a PC style quick save anywhere kind of thing? So you just sort
No,
of,
it's heavily checkpointed. So it's not. Yeah, it's not.
not a lot of room
not
to
like
experiment.
That.
Then,
Yeah,
basically.
yeah. But you get enough weapons and you get to kind of play around and change your weapons out enough to where if you want to. Basically, by the end of the game, I had gotten all of the weapon achievements for kill 20 dudes with this thing.
How is killing dudes?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the weapons are fun. There's a couple that you get that you can't actually store in your like basically you find weapons lockers and you can kind of change your weapons at any point.
Okay.
There are a couple weapons that never appear in those lockers, and one of them is called the Seeker. It's this rifle that when you're zoomed in with the left trigger, as long as you're holding that down, when you pull the trigger, it just goes into bullet view, and you're guiding the bullet around in slow motion.
Awesome.
So you're just like guiding it into dudes' heads where it then explodes. And that's a lot of fun to use. There's another one that's called like the Spike Shot, and it's kind of like a railgun sort of thing, but you have to charge it up by holding into aim view for a period of time, and then you shoot that, and that'll hit a guy and then explode also, and it's fun to blow dudes up.
But then you can also just kill dudes with time.
Yeah, that uses up a lot of your time energy, though.
Yeah.
You know, when you're manipulating stuff like... Yes.
My T-ang?
Yeah, your T-ang.
Shut up. God damn it.
When you're just like changing staircases and stuff like that, or reading chrono notes that have been left for you by who knows.
I will say this game has fucking excellent jargon.
Yeah.
Like Element 99.
Yeah.
Chrono notes.
Chrono notes are just, you see this little scraped up stuff on the wall, and you know it highlights as something you can manipulate, and you do so, and then a message fills in, and you're like, the message is clearly written to you.
Yeah, but you're like, what the fuck?
And you don't know who
awesome.
until the end of the game.
On a not really related note, trying to make a new Xbox Live gamer tag for my wife. Time Muffin was one of the
one of the suggested.
It was like, you have to take that. I'm not being Time Muffin. Also, unseemly barley.
I've had to go and like make up an Xbox Live name pretty recently, and pretty impressive.
It comes up with some winners.
Like suggestions, like, yeah, that is what I'm going to use.
Yeah.
Good on you, Xbox.
Time Muffin.
Time Muffin's fucking amazing. If that is not taken by the end of this podcast, I will be extremely disappointed.
Time Muffin, please write in.
Join TNT.
I once made an onside bump.
Nice.
Yeah.
I remember onside bump.
Yeah, you might see it on an Xbox around the office here.
Anyway, I didn't want to interrupt, but Chrono Note reminded me of time. Can you eat a Time Muffin and get your power back?
Yeah.
That's your co-op players, your Time Muffin.
You end up picking up energy vials for that, as well as health packs. That's kind of the most Bioshocky thing of it all, is you end up picking up.
But you mentioned it's even an either-or situation with your hands.
You don't
like
really dual wield. It's sort of like, your
for the
left
sequel.
hand is your... Yeah,
it's very much right-hand gun, left-hand plasmid.
But you're not like switching between the two. There are separate buttons that you just use. So it's just like, clicking the right stick to pick something up with your glove. And you can you find like... Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff. You're like pulling boxes in from the past. Like you see a ghost box and you're like, I want that. And you hold down the right stick and sucks it into 2010.
I wonder if anybody has Ghost Box yet.
Now they do.
Ghost. You could always be Ghost Box 2010.
Online Ghost
Yes,
Box.
Ghost Box and Ghost Barrels, Ghost Exploding Barrels. So
This game sounds awesome. This game sounds like
does,
a game that I
actually.
want to play.
it's really neat. It is a little contrived in spots, and the action is pretty much just, I'm going to run around and shoot dudes. But watching it unfold and kind of seeing the story stuff, I thought was really impressive. They do some interesting stuff with the world, because I'm basically it's not a big secret. Like in this game, like the Soviets have kind of taken over the world. It's kind of the first thing you see.
Yeah.
When you're kind of watching this intro video, is they kind of are retelling history.
Isn't the font and the logo almost has this something kind of faux Cyrillic look to it?
Yeah, it's like all the N's are backwards and all the R's are backwards. Like it's a little lazy.
Even when it's not in that kind of font, even when they're not, the backwards
like
letters.
the Singularity logo has backwards logos. It ends in it. It's like you're like, all right, it's evocative. It works.
Sure, but then like in all of the menus for all of the, like it seemed like
it's not there.
It's not there.
It's not in the new game or anything like that.
Okay.
All that stuff's normal.
All right. It will seem like in game like loading prompts or stuff.
Yeah, some of that stuff's a little bit
had a little overdone, but still very interesting in that game.
But
I like the look. I like the premise.
Yeah, it's one of those games that I was happy that I played slowly and like looked at all the notes and listened to all the audio logs and all those stuff.
Giant reel-to-reel.
Eventually, you find broken giant reel-to-reels. You have to.
I wonder what you have to do to
warp them back in time before you can listen to them.
They're so
it's
huge.
like they've added
They're
an extra
so
step
big.
to listening to audio logs. It's kind of dumb, but you're like, whatever.
Why are those?
And like left in the stall in the bathroom.
I don't know why, but that stuck in my craw almost as much as the bad fake Russian of why are there these giant reel-to-reels? Like why is a child whispering into this giant reel-to-reel during some sort of horrible attack?
Yes, if you look at that game closely, it falls apart.
Sure.
On those kinds of points. Yeah, it's definitely
Fair enough.
Not as deeply atmospheric as something like BioShock. They did not pull it off as well as Irrational did, but it works well enough.
Well, good for Raven.
Multiplayer seems kind of cool. I need to play a little bit more of that. But it's,
I was going to say, I wonder
you
how...
play as the crazy time creatures, and there are like different classes of those. You actually play as basically like a ticker from Gears of War. Except it's a phase tick. Totally different.
Beating Gears of War 3 to the punch.
Yeah, and if you get up close to a guy with one of those, you can possess him. So you kind of take over a human character for a brief period of time, or until you die.
So there's no like straight up time manipulation. I was going to say that would be a bit of a challenge in a multiplayer setting.
Not in that context. They're like basically it's class based, and each class has different powers. So like one guy uses his TMD to teleport.
And they're all fighting. The time monsters are all fighting each other.
No, it's time monsters. There's two modes. There's like a team deathmatch, and then there's this node based like control point thing of like offense versus defense.
Right.
Good for Raven getting to do an original IP.
Yeah.
Like Quake 4, Wolverine.
Right.
Like now it sounds like they might be doing a Call of Duty game. Like
I bet they're stoked to have gotten this game out the door and on shelves after a long time.
Yeah, it sounds like even if I can't get a pin on how long development was, but it sounds like
it's been kicking around in some form for maybe as long as 4 years.
I think they announced it like a good 2 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently it had been even sitting around previous to that.
So, yeah,
I'd heard that 4-year number also, which is a long time to make a game for. I hope it is successful for.
It's a solid original IP.
I also hope that they get to come back for Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. Vinny,
Hey,
what games you been playing?
I beat the Singularity.
I played like maybe an hour of that.
I really like that game.
Yeah?
It's got some weird problems.
Like what?
The pacing's really good throughout the game. Then there are a couple of missions that are just like, why? There's like a time limit on a couple of missions, and you're like, you didn't tell me
like
that.
The chase?
Yeah, and it's like, I'm going around, hunting around for audio logs and stuff like that, and all of a sudden it's like, mission failed.
That only happened to me once,
Yeah.
And then I realized, well, if they're gonna do that to this section, then obviously they're not gonna put a lot for you to find.
Just silly. It was just like, I think it happened to me twice on that section. There was one other time where it was like, somebody got away. I was like, well, I don't.
Oh, that never happened to me.
Who cares? I don't care. And then there's this story-wise, I think it's really cool in concept, but if you think about it for too long, then it's like, this makes no sense at all.
Any time travel story is that, though. If you think about it too much, you start to see all the holes.
Well, I don't even mean like think about it. And then it stops making sense. There are three endings.
You're like, why is there only one pine tree at the mall now? It's like, that doesn't, like, what?
Well, it's more like, shouldn't I just be dead in general? Like,
yeah.
Because the Earth moved. It moved away from where it was back then.
Yeah. That's right. I should just be in space. Yeah. There are 3 different endings, which are kind of cool, but they're not really.
How long did it take you to get through that game?
2 sittings. It's not very long.
Like what? But what are Vinny sittings? That doesn't really. 2 servings.
It's definitely under 10. I think under 10 hours.
10,
okay.
That sounds about right.
Reasonable.
But like I said, so there are 3 different endings. The cool thing is when you load up your last save, it starts you right before the ending. So all the choices you make.
That's where the choice is. It's not like some mid-game.
Right. So you can see all 3, and you can get all 3 last achievements. But loading up your last save, you don't have to replay the entire game again.
So nothing else other than just the one moment where you get to pick your ending?
It's a pretty good moment,
Is that the way it is?
It's a really good moment.
Yeah. All right.
I played. Yeah, I played like an hour. I got my TMD, and I went into the past, and that was about as far as I got.
I feel like they keep. They keep the pace going really well with the TMD upgrades and kind of introducing new things. And, the story is very. It's got a Half-Life vibe to it, where they keep. There's no like chapters really, just keep falling into the next story part, which is kind of nice. It's not like mission 3, mission 4. It's just like
go.
So it's hard to put down. So you kind of get into it, and you're like, oh man, I can't wait to see what happens next.
I think the first time I put it down was when you get to the phase tickers, which are basically phase ticks, which are the tickers from Gears of War.
Except time.
Except it's kind of time.
Yeah.
Not
really.
really.
Like all the time manipulation stuff is a really cool device. Though again, if you think about it too much, none of it really makes sense.
It's a lot like the powers in Infamous, where they're just like, we're going to use electricity to make you fly, or make you they are backing into all this weird
make these guys explode for some reason. Like, why would he explode? I don't know.
Time. You fill someone up with time, and they just guess what? They're going to pop.
Wait, Samora stays there?
Yep.
Yep.
And you could like turn.
OEO.
You can turn
That's
some.
what they say every time you hit them with it.
You can turn some enemies into monsters, which I never understood through time, which I never really
They had
understood.
to come up with
why.
something that wasn't babies.
Yeah.
Wait, can you throw guys and they like fall through time before they hit the floor? Like they disappear?
No. It's not like that. You can age them, or basically if you hit the enemy troops with one blast to your time thing, these are human enemies.
Yeah.
They basically just turn to dust. If you hit them again, then the stress of going back and forward turns them all inside out into monsters.
I was bummed.
Element 99 does crazy shit.
The first thing I
Yeah.
tried was trying to rewind time on the corpses and bring them back to life, but that didn't work.
Yeah,
which I thought would be really cool, just to like
murder this
oh
guy
man,
over and over again.
Yeah, but if he just came back and he was all dead, like just kind of, I was like a weird zombie. There's a couple of things that you'd like to see that maybe they'll save it for. I would like to see more of that game. Like it was a cool concept. They definitely set up a kind of a cool universe. So I'd like to see. I'd like to see them continue with it. I don't know which ending they would pick up. They're all the endings were just kind of.
I don't know. I thought the
best ending,
the one that isn't immediately laid out before you.
It's pretty good.
Is the one.
It's definitely good.
Is my
Zing!
favorite. Like, it's like I'm doing that. Dude.
Oh.
There's a good atmosphere to that game. Like they lay that out and establish kind of this post-war alternate history vibe, like really strong early on.
Yeah.
And they set up just enough kind of like whoa, what is going on, and like what is my role in what is going on. Like they kind of set up some of that stuff early on. So I'm like, I want to know the answers to these questions.
They're really good later on at like making you question. Like you think you have your role figured out, and then a lot of things you kind of discover along the way. You're like, wait, what? Wait a minute.
It is a
That's
little.
am I actually doing the thing? Like should I be doing this?
It is a little bit like Lost in the sense that you will get to a point where you're like you have all these questions and they kind of won't answer all. They'll just kind of leave a couple of threads floating out there.
Sure.
And there's actually I didn't find it, but apparently there's a wheel you can find. And
I've seen screenshots of it. Yeah, where there's straight up just the time wheel from Lost is tucked in there.
Well, they did that Wolverine game that had the hatch from Lost.
Those Raven dudes just like them some Lost. And also World of Warcraft.
There's a couple of other. There's a faction you meet early on, the Mere 12 guys, which they don't really go too deep into like what their whole agenda is, but it's very cursory in that they obviously want to stop whatever's going on.
Yeah,
space stations. That's what they're into.
I guess. I don't know. You never really find out. But they kind of play a part in the early game, and they kind of play a big part in one of the endings in the end game. And then in the middle, they're inconsequential. The girl you meet, you probably met her, might as well just be Alex from... Like,
yes, very much so. Yeah.
But
except not as annoying.
She doesn't have a big robot dog.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You said you played some of the multiplayer, too.
I did, and I'm not a big multiplayer fan, and... it's kind of fun. And I think the draw for me was mostly... I'm not a big achievement whore either, but the achievements for multiplayer are laid out really accessibly. Like, it's like 15 special kills. Like, it's class-based, and you just need to get 15 kills or whatever with each class. And you can get it. So I got about halfway through the multiplayer achievements pretty quickly.
Cool.
And it's fun. It's like monsters versus dudes. Which is kind of monsters. Then don't play the monsters.
Monsters are fun. It's fun to play. It's third person when you play as the monsters.
Oh.
And,
you could play as those. You probably got up to the dudes that look like they're teleporting around.
Yes.
The zip zip. You could play as those guys and phase in and out.
Fake night crawlers.
Yeah.
They're all bamf.
Yeah. Boom.
Bamf.
Bamf. You're right.
That's the
Schnick.
That's snicked.
Bub.
that's canon. That's the
Bub. Yes.
Like just throwing Bub in there
that's
too.
the sound he makes. Bub.
So yeah, I really enjoyed that game.
Cerebro.
As much as I enjoyed it, I probably won't play it some more, but I'd like to see more of it. Like I said, just a Singularity 2 would be kind of cool.
I hope so. Yeah, like Jeff.
Dubularity.
Jeff, you enjoyed Singularity a fair amount as well.
I did. That's a good game.
And I think we all kind of were left a little baffled by how little support Activision seemed to, which is the publisher of the game, seemed to put behind that game.
Yeah.
I don't know how much about it we've talked on this podcast before, but like we saw that at E3 09.
Yeah.
And
they had a little theater demo set up.
Yeah, like a theater space for it, like separate. Like, oh, okay, they're getting behind this. This is going to be a big deal for them when they finally put this out. And then we never saw that game again until it came out.
Yeah,
and it kind of just floated out there.
Yeah, it didn't seem like there was much of a marketing push on Activision's behalf, and we didn't hear anything else leading up to it, and kind of like the typical preview cycle that a game gets.
I think it just doesn't fit into the traditional what has now become the traditional Activision model of a game that could be put out every year with enough of a multiplayer component to keep people from
pirating it or
from
selling
it back,
right?
To flood the used market with it. Like, that's a very single player focused game. I think the multiplayer is neat, but it's not the draw.
Yeah.
No.
So, you're going to see used bins probably flooded with that game, and, that'll cut into its sales, and it's that whole thing. So I suspect that would be the reason why they might back away from it. That, and if, some of the things we heard about that game being in development forever
we heard
are true.
We heard about 4
years or
which
something.
Well, maybe somebody kept going back in time and...
But then, I don't know.
With that in mind, if you don't have a lot of faith in them to churn out another one of those in 12 months, then you're going to say, "How about you guys make some Black Ops map packs instead?"
Okay. It reminded me of Wolfenstein. Just following it casually because I didn't get to see it or anything. I was just like, "Oh, it's kind of green. It's got green tinges."
It is a very different game from that last Wolfenstein game, which had almost like a hub world thing going on. This doesn't have that. This is just straight up your Half-Life model of go to the end.
I thought you meant more of just the way Activision treated its release.
Well, no, that as well. And that's what I'm saying. I could see them kind of looking at it and being like, well, this kind of, supernaturally, first-person shooter that's... It kind of had that vibe.
They thought maybe we can reboot Wolfenstein and it'll be big again, but then halfway through they're well, no one apparently gives a shit about Wolfenstein anymore, so
maybe we should have gone with that Hexen remake.
Heretic 3.
Heretic 3.
You wouldn't have had to drink gin for that.
Heretic 3. Because you would have known better. No, there's no way this is beating
More
Madden.
people are playing Heretic 3 than Madden 11.
So you and Activision both learned that lesson the hard way. That's
true.
Not that many people wanted to play Wolfenstein. But I will also throw my endorsement at Singularity.
It's fun.
It's got great atmosphere. Shooting is good. It seems like it lays out the story, at least in the early going for me. And based on what you guys have said, I'm excited to see how the story unfolds.
There's also, like a good shooter should, continues to give you different options to kill kind of the same dudes you see throughout the game, but they give you more and more options to kill them as you go further along, which is fun. So you're constantly killing probably the same 2 or 3 enemy types, but you can do it in different ways.
Like the first time you get the grenade launcher. It's just so ridiculous. Like the alt fire on is basically it shoots out a glowing ball and then your left stick just rolls the ball around.
Oh, nice.
So you're just and it doesn't move the camera doesn't go with the ball, but if it goes behind a wall, it'll glow and you'll still be able to kind of generally see where it is. So it kind of prevents you from rolling it to the end of the level.
But it's like Marble Madness for real.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're just let off the trigger and blow up 3 guys.
Oh, okay.
And they're all shouting "Granada!" As it's rolling at them, and it's a fun weapon to use.
Or your TMD, like Jeff said before, if you double tap quickly on it, you can change a dude into a monster and just let him tear up the rest of the guys.
Turn on the other soldiers.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and then if you click on the monster, you can have him explode in the guy. So you just wind up with this
coming up with some fun variety of ways.
And they give you stuff that you'll never use too. Like I didn't really use it too much against guys, but you can make these bubbles that slow time down, and they're effective against.
That's the thing that apparently breaks the game for some people. Like some people are just using that thing to because if you freeze enemies in a time bubble,
right,
and then you shoot them,
and then the bullets are,
and you just see basically them getting shot a bunch, and there's just huge blood splatters. And then you can either pop the bubble yourself or it'll eventually time out, and then they just go all over.
Which is kind of fun because
cool.
The bullets actually kind of someone will just hang there in the air, and you're just like unloading clips and clips into this time bubble until you release it, and then they go wah.
Oh, so they're like coming at them super slow, no,
yeah, and then,
bullets.
Because some guys have chain guns and stuff, and you can't just go up to them. You gotta
so you got to use a time bubble to slow down their bullets coming in.
It's
cool.
fun.
That's
cool.
cool.
Like I said, there's cool stuff going on.
And it's a sharp looking game too. I feel like it makes a strong first impression with
all the time
the technology. Like anytime
animations.
Anytime that you age or bring something back, that stuff looks really cool. Just watching everything
Paint
slowly
off the wall
unage and go back into its normal.
It's cool. They set up a nice little piece of fiction there.